Hey guys, JHub here, and I posted this short yesterday.
This is hilarious. We are currently at 55 to 60 on kill confirm and 10v10 with the time running out. Welcome to Modern Warfare 3. If this is the experience you're looking for, by golly, this is what you're gonna get. 10v10. We didn't even get halfway. In MW209 and 9v9, the game would have been over 4 minutes ago. But in MW3 and 10v10, we don't even get halfway to the score limit. And it brought up a lot of different conversations, so I'm going to show you some of the comments here. But before we get into that, I want to say a big thank you to Logitech G for sponsoring this video for their new Astro A50X headset. Most of y'all have seen me on stream and videos rocking the last generation of A50s. Well, now they have the new A50X headset with an improved microphone and audio experience. If you want to learn more about there's a link down in the description to the website to the A50Xs. And if you want to save 10% off, you can use code JHub10 for 10% off at checkout. Unboxing and mic review video links are down in the description as well. Thank you again, Logitech G, for sponsoring this video. Where I brought up the idea that in 10v10, it is extremely slow. And a lot of people in the comment section was like, well, you're with a sniper just looking one line of sight. Maybe you're part of the problem. Not knowing they don't watch the streams. For those of you who do watch my streams, you would have known that I just finished grinding out the RAM, getting it gilded, and I switched over to the sniper, and we were just having very slow games all night long. Now, the gameplay you're going to see on screen. We went into 10v10 once again. We got an invasion, just like that short you just watched. It's kill confirmed once again. And I decided that me and my team are going to sit here and rush and try to get into the spawns, move around the map as much as possible, try to end this game as fast as possible. And you're going to see, you're going to watch us not even get 75% of the way through the score. I believe we get around 56 to 60% of the score when the time limit ends. This is in kill confirmed. Now, we had some TDM matches that we did hit the score limit, but with like a minute left on the clock. So it's taken us 9 minutes. But you're going to see throughout this gameplay that the reason we don't hit the score limit is because typically one team is pushing, the other team is camping. And not just like your standard camp, oh, we can take them out with breachers and drill charges and stuff like that. I'm talking about hardcore head glitching. You can barely see the tip of their head, like hiding behind boxes, not wanting to move, waiting for you to come to them. That's their entire motive. And this, I guess, is a two-part problem, right? We have the player base, which they're not wanting to move, but I believe that they're not wanting to remove because it's reactive, right? This game has a time to kill and a time to die issue. They're not equal. So if you say go rushing across the entire map to try to kill a player, it's going to take you forever to kill them. The bullets, it doesn't feel like they're hitting accurately. Like the damage profile isn't there. A lot of people complain about 150 health being the cause of this. I think it's servers. I think it's bullet velocities, all this type of issues, especially with like the not consistent recoil. Like, to me, it feels like I have ghost bullets that just don't hit. This happens all the time. You might be able to experience it. Let me know down in the comment section below if you have. But then you get across the map, you've rushed, it's taking you, 20, 30 seconds to get where you need to be, you're about to start slaying, and then you get blown up. Like, you blink and you die fast. They don't even have to necessarily be using a sniper. They could actually be using one of the worst guns in the game, but because they have some sort of bullet stack, damage stack issue, you just get blown up. And if that happens to you enough, even over a span of like 2 or 3 games, you're done. You don't want to move anymore. And I've experienced this as well, where like I'll be rushing and rushing, and then I just get tired. So I try to pick a spot and then just slay, move around a little bit, but I get tired of getting blown up. And especially like on maps like Derail, especially on like Kill Confirmed, you spawn in the back corner of the map and have to run across the entire map if the enemy team is not moving. Now, we're not even spawn trapping. We're not spawn killing. The enemy team is just not wanting to leave their base. And I will sometimes run into the exact same player in the exact same spot. Every time he dies, he will go about 20 feet or 20 steps out of his spawn back to the same spot. And you might see this a handful of times in this gameplay alone.
But I wanted to post that short and that TikTok because it was a burst of agitation in that moment. So I wanted to get it up. But it was also in my head a little bit of a bait to see how people react. And it was mainly people going, oh, okay, you're the problem, but they're not realizing like this is a common occurrence. And I wanted to see how many people are playing 10v10 and running into this. Now, hardpoint is not as big of an issue because people will poorly spawn all over the place on top of one another. It was happening all night with this last session. People just spawning on top of one another. So the gameplay feels fast. And you may or may not hit the time limit. Hardpoint may go by faster. Domination, we have a lot of slow matches, but naturally we will hit the score limit just because if you hold 2 flags and the enemy team only has 1, you'll get there. Because the enemy team's not pushing to take the flag and extend the match out, going back and forth fighting for it, it'll just play its way out. But when it comes to kill confirm and TDM, most of the time we are not reaching that score limit. And it's disappointing. So another issue that comes into play is just the map flow. Now that you can mantle over everything, climb over everything, how they remade the maps, but they didn't make them too faithful. And instead, there are now new sight lines where you can straight up spawn kill people. That between Rundown, Invasion, and a lot of other maps, you can get spawn killed repeatedly from angles you couldn't even imagine. Moving forward, you might even start doing them, which will just exacerbate the problem. So, especially on Rundown, you'll spawn in the back corner and you can mantle over the wall, get into the river, and immediately go up. It's not forcing you to move around, rush around, and get where you need to go when you can just avoid all the fights and kind of skirt the edges and get to the place you want to be. It throws off the momentum. And so I think the main issue that's causing these 10v10 matches to either be slow or just dying, because we've had lobbies where, half the team leaves right in the beginning and there's just no way you're going to reach that score limit, is because these maps, for the most part, are not made for the mechanics of this engine. Bullet velocities, time to kills, server issues, and just the mantling. These maps should not be here. And it's weird because in 10v10, all the maps aren't in there. I felt like back in 09, we had most of the maps in Ground War and 9v9. There may have been 1 or 2, but looking at it right now, I can't remember the last time I saw Afghan come up. Some of these maps come up once every 2.5 hours. I think we played on Wasteland maybe once. We got Invasion maybe twice. Terminal once. There's supposed to be 18 maps in this game at this point, and there's only a handful in 10v10, which is disappointing. Hell, let's make it super chaotic and put shipment in it. I don't care. If you have to turn off streaks just for that, be my guest. It would be interesting for the camo grinders. But the whole point of that short, and the reason I just want to follow back up, is because I want to know. So down in the comment section below, do you find, if you are a 10v10 player, most of your lobbies feel slower than 6v6? Because in my opinion, it does. If I hop in standard 6v6, it seems like people are more or less rushing around to a degree to play the objective. But when you go into 10v10, it's almost like the new war game mode. I know they have war in the game, but it feels like it's kind of on that same parity of a lot of people in there might also just be going for camo challenges and do not feel the need to move at all because it's not going to help them get their camos. And then all the other factors that are in play. Do you think it's because of that this game mode essentially dies? Now, I love more people in a mode because in previous CODs, it's non-stop action. Look at Vanguard, the previous Sledgehammer game. With the higher count lobbies, it was non-stop action, which is kind of baffling how we're essentially, their COD, even though it's a DLC and Infinity Ward controlled most of it, it's so much slower. It really is. If I want to see, constant gameplay, I'll play Meat or Shipment, but I'm tired of Shipment. I really am. After out of the last 5 CODs, we've had it in 4. I'm burned out on Shipment. But I would like to have the chaos, maybe a step down of the chaos of Shipment on every other map. But I don't know what they can do. I would love to see 10v10 cranked. That would be interesting because maybe it'll get people moving a little bit more. But I'm starting to wind down on the camos. I've knocked out most of the gilded on the weapons where you can rush around, and I'm starting to have to get locked into the heavier stuff. We're on snipers, marksman rifles, LMGs, things of that nature. So me rushing around I could potentially start becoming part of the problem that people left the comments on the video about. It's very likely. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What you think's going on, how you feel, or it's MW3 and you just don't care because you're not playing. You can tell me that too if you want. But hope you all had a good holiday season, a happy New Year's. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.